How's it going?
You know.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you know.
It's like 700 degrees, guys.
It's so fucking hot.
When is it not?
I know.
You know, we have an AC for this bitch, too. Everybody's always like, just put it on. We should try it one episode.
Oh,
maybe like the Patreon.
Yeah, maybe next one.
It'll just be like this giant arm coming out of the window. This is a window back here, guys.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
You can almost tell on account of that banner. It's pretty backlit.
Why'd I laugh like that? I hate myself.
Oh, don't you hate it? Me
Only
too.
sometimes.
God damn!
How you doing?
Oh, girl, I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm also doing good.
Yeah? What's your
Yeah.
goddamn?
Well, my goddamn is that we had a girls' day the other day.
I was wondering if this is going to be your goddamn.
You know it is. We had a girls' day the other day, and one of the girls, it was just me, Stacey, and Nora, our friend Nora, and she brought a fucking piercing gun
Yeah, she did.
out of the blue.
Yeah, she did.
And I was like, that's dumb, never doing that. We're not going to do that. And immediately changed my tune. So we all pierced each other's ears just like the 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't know, man. It was also my mom's birthday. So it felt like a,
Celebratory action.
Yeah, like something that some bullshit she would have done.
Oh my God, the moment. So Nora comes over and it's her birthday and this girl came with gifts. She was bearing so many gifts.
Yeah.
So many fun things. She's like, we're going to do diamond art and we're going to paint on these canvases. And I got shit for us to do like fucking welcome mats. Like there was every craft you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I was like, oh my God, I didn't even get her a present yet. Like, girl, we're waiting for payday. You know what I mean?
Like,
Hold on.
uh-oh.
And then she pulls out the piercing gun, and immediately I was like, Erin's not going to let us do this.
No.
And Nora was like, what do you mean? Like playing with it. And she's like, ching, ching, ching. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I was surprised you let us do it.
Well, my initial reaction was absolutely not. And I feel like if you hadn't gotten me on like a mental breakdown day, that it still would have been a no. But something triggered it, something got me. And I had just seen the thing about piercings and how many is like the max amount that you should get in one sitting. And so I felt like I was knowledgeable in
You were
this
like our
situation.
expert Sherpa in the matter.
Yeah.
Because Nora and I would have done like 18 holes in each ear.
Right.
If you had not warned us. Like, you should only do 2. But we did 3. 3's close enough to 2.
Like you said, 3's just one more than 2.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Not
like,
that bad.
You know what? You're talking a lot of sense.
And they're not even infected.
Not yet, no.
No, they feel great.
Yeah. Are yours angry? Are yours red?
No, they feel fine.
Are they hot?
No, I mean, they're a little achy. Like, if you touch it, it's like, ooh, it just,
Yeah.
But
it
I can, like,
doesn't feel
lay
great.
on them. I lay on my side at night. I cannot
Even the
back sleep.
Helix one?
Yeah.
Girl, mine's angry.
Well, don't touch it. Stop touching it.
I can't. I love touching it.
I learned my lesson with my Daith. I fucked with it so much because it was all crusty because I love picking the crust off and stuff. And, like, this time I'm like, okay, wash your hands before you touch it, even though I just totally touched it without washing my hands. And I've been spraying it with saline twice a day.
Yeah, I got saline, so I started doing that, but I was doing, like, hydrogen peroxide, and I was like, ooh, you can hear it bubble, and Brandon was like, I don't think that's how you're supposed to clean it, and I was like, I guess I'll Google it.
I know. Well, I always thought so, too, and then lately everything's like, it damages the tissues, and I'm like, okay, I survived the entire 90s with peroxide on my wounds.
Yeah, literally.
That's
damaged
how you
it.
sanitized it.
So that's how you got a bigger hole.
Yeah, you gotta get it clean, you know?
That's how you made it fit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also, Nora and I did what you weren't supposed to do, where, like, because we did our second holes, like, on your elobe, and immediately swapped the jewelry out the moment you pierced it. So, like, fucking trauma to the ear.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I read online was, like, you're not supposed to do that because it starts the clock all over again. Like, if you pierce it and then in a week change it, you have to wait again for another 6 to 8 weeks for it to heal because you're, like, ripping the skin open or something. So I was like, whatever. We did it same day. It was pretty risky. We did almost lose the hole, but
That was not pleasant for me. So I somehow became the one that had to pop those in.
because you got tiny little strong fingers.
Got my strong fingers.
You guys, if you pierce your ear and change the jewelry immediately, for some reason the front hole goes in, but it doesn't want to pop out the back hole. Like, it has a hard time finding the hole. It's not like a smooth alleyway for it to go in. It's just like fucking tore up tissue. Like, you want to jam this way?
Yeah, that shit was fucked up.
So I thought that my ears would hurt more from changing the jewelry, from you having to, like, pop them back in like that, but they're really not bad at all.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm very proud of us.
Good.
Do you want to hear my goddamn then, since that was your goddamn?
Yep.
My goddamn is that I survived my first summer home with the boys.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
me not working, boys not going to camp or anything like that. I was just a full-time goddamn mom 100% of the time.
Summer
For
mom.
how many weeks this summer? Like fucking 14 weeks?
It's a lot of them.
Oh my God. And I still have like 2 more days to survive. So there's still time for me to like accidentally murder
Gank the whole
everybody in the family. Yeah, set my house on fire and walk away. Just kidding. Just kidding. I would never. But yeah, I survived it and I can't believe it. And dare I say, I actually enjoyed the time with the boys.
Look at you.
I know.
How fun is that?
There was definitely moments where I was white knuckling it, where I'm like, what the fuck have I done?
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I feel like I got some time with them that I'm never ever going to get back again, right? Because they're so little, and I would normally have been working through that, so I would have been stressed the whole time and like yelling at them. But instead, we built so many Lego sets. Like we did all these. My kid has these Crunch Labs that are like the mail-in whatevers that Santa got him one year, and so we had like fucking 6 months worth of those sitting around because I never had time. Yeah, I never had time to build them with him, and they're supposed to be like you can do it on your own, but some of them are hard. Like it's tiny instead of like screws or something, it's tiny little rubber bands on like grommets that you put it on, and it like he'd shoot them across the room and be like, Mom, I just can't. And I'd be like, well, sucks to suck, you don't get to have that thing then, because I'm not going to sit here and build it with you. But this summer I got to do it all, so it was fun.
That is fun. That's exciting.
So I'm proud of myself that I survived.
You did it. You made it. And they start school on Thursday?
Wednesday.
Oh, man.
And
Today is
Sunday.
Sunday.
So I got 2 more days.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it.
Which, by the way, can we talk about how last second everything is for school?
Girl, I'm surprised you got it today. You still have 2 days. I got mine day before.
I'm going to have to go back.
By 4 p.m. They'll have it out by 4 p.m.
That's
the
what
fucking
ours
day
is.
before. I was like, that's stupid.
That's what ours is, too, is like you find out your teacher assignment, and then like, I don't understand why this is a thing, but like teachers have their own supply list. Like you would think all for 3rd grade or something. It's all the same shit.
Right.
But then I went on, it was like, you're going to have to know your teacher, which they are not going to give us until fucking 6 p.m. on Monday, and school starts Wednesday. So I have Tuesday to get shit, which you're lucky. I'm a stay-at-home mom now, so they'll actually have shit. But I did like a mini panic this morning, and I looked, and like my younger son's is like a generic list. So I'm like, okay, I can get that stuff. But also, if I were a first-time mom taking my kid to school, I wouldn't know that I need to look online for, like, their supply list. I would assume, like, send them to school, and then you'll get the supply list. Which maybe that's how it is, and
or
it'll
like
be
the
fine.
back-to-school night or something. Like, you better not plan for them to have any of this shit on the first day.
Right. Like, they're just going with a backpack with a lunch pail in it and a water bottle. Like, what the fuck? And maybe that's normal, but anyway, so I fucking found my younger sons, but then the older one was like, you have to know your teacher. So I just looked at all the teachers' lists and found the common items, you know, like the fucking 24-pack of Crayolas and the white eraser and some of these teachers have like special glue sticks, you know, like it's got to be the Avery brand permanent bond glue stick. And I'm like, God. Jesus Christ, guys, what are we like in Rancho Bernardo? Like, what's going on here? Nah, man, we're fucking not that fancy.
No.
You gotta get Elmer's glue sticks.
I hate those too, because it's like, oh, you need a fucking 10-pack of 4 glue sticks, or like 4 10-packs of glue sticks. I'm like, am I buying the glue sticks for the entire
You are.
year?
Literally. There was
like
the
entire
note.
class the entire year?
You are.
That's fucked up.
There was a note that said, like, don't put their name on it because it goes to, like, the community pile.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it. Some people can't afford shit or whatever. But then, like, don't make it the fucking name brand shit. Like, we're not in our class, homie.
Yeah.
We're in fucking 2nd grade.
We're in 3rd grade. Yeah. Like, calm down.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Anyway, do you guys want to hear about murder?
I sure do.
Murder. Well, good. Because I have a case for you this week.
Good. Thank God.
This week, I am going to tell you about Angie Dodge.
Angie Dodge.
This is episode 355. Woo woo.
355.
One day we're going to be on episode 500.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can. Should we do like a live Twitch for that?
Live action.
Remember
we
when
haven't
we
done a Twitch in a long time.
I feel like we could
sketchy.
do it.
I'm in. Yeah, that's fine.
That was sketchy.
That was sketchy. Maybe we can...
Oh, you could do it. I believe
in you.
You can do it.
Live Twitch art karaoke night.
Should we?
No.
I think we should.
I think you might be right.
I know I am. Anyway, okay, so Angie Dodge.
Angie Dodge.
Here we go. Angie Dodge was born December 21st, 1977, and she was the 4th of 4 children.
That's one of my anniversaries.
Aw. From all your many husbands.
Yes, from my one husband. It's one of our anniversaries.
Is that the courthouse one?
Yeah.
Or the official one?
That's the, well, I mean,
that would be the official one.
technically, the courthouse one was the official one. Yeah, it's that one.
Well,
the winter
congratulations.
solstice. In case you were wondering.
I was wondering. Thanks for letting me know. Anyway, all of her siblings were brothers, so she was the only girl.
Ooh, okay.
Not much is really known about her childhood, but
How many siblings did she have? I didn't listen.
She was the fourth of 4 children.
Fourth of 4. Wow. Okay.
Wow. 3 boys, 1 girl.
They finally got a girl, and they were like, thank God we can stop.
Fuck, we can end it all.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what happened, I'm sure. Which, by the way, I met some lady at Macy's, and by met, I mean, it was a lady checking us out.
Oh, okay. I was like, who are you talking about?
Ew.
Macy's?
Yeah, you're like, bitch, don't make friends. We have enough.
Who are you trying to replace?
Yeah, not you. Don't worry. No, but she was like checking us out, and I got their fucking school clothes or whatever. And she was like, how many kids do you have? 2 boys? And then she was like, I have 3. And I was like, you tried for that fucking girl, didn't you? And she said, yeah, they tricked me into it. And he's a boy. And I'm like, you're the reason I won't do it. Anyway, okay.
You're like, joke's on you, sucker.
Right? Don't fall for the lies.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, not much is known about her childhood, but in 1996, Angie Dodge was 18 years old, and she was living in Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Okay.
I feel like all my cases lately have been in Idaho.
I feel like that too, or like Utah or something.
Yeah.
Idaho.
What's going on? Okay, so Idaho Falls, right?
Yes.
Angie had just moved out of her mom's home and into her own apartment in the northern part of Idaho Falls.
Okay, good for her. Moving
Right?
out, branching out.
Exactly. Her apartment was on the upstairs floor and was located on a quiet street. Now, I looked at Google Maps at the building, and it's all blurred out now because, as you can tell, some things happen.
Uh-oh.
But to me, it looks just like it's in a normal neighborhood. Like, they're all houses. So maybe it was one of those, like, you know, you open the door and you go upstairs for an apartment and then downstairs. Like, they turned the separate floors of the home into apartments.
Like a duplex situation?
Yeah, but it looks just like a normal house.
Okay. Maybe it's like those townhomes, you know, townhouses. It's like it's an apartment complex or small houses that are all connected.
Kind of, but like, you know how townhomes have like a certain look?
Mm-hmm.
This just looked like a normal house. Like, it looked like a fucking suburban home.
Maybe she was just a renter.
Yeah, she definitely, but they call it her apartment. But I
Yeah.
think it was like there was a downstairs apartment, upstairs apartment. Now, I had looked at, like I said, it was blurred out on Google Maps, on Google Maps, but like newspaper articles had pictures of the home from like around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it just looked like a normal home. Like, the whole time I was thinking an apartment building when I was typing this up. And then when I went back and looked at it, I'm like, oh, goddamn, this is a house in the middle of a neighborhood. So just to paint the scene, okay?
Got it.
Now, Angie and her mom's name is Carol. They were really close. As you can imagine, it's her only girl, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't sound like Angie's father was in the picture, but I don't know why. Like, we just don't hear about the father. So I'm not sure if he was or not, but just to kind of give you a glimpse into their lives. Occasionally, Angie would get into arguments with her mother, and she would go like weeks at a time without speaking to her.
Ooh.
But it was a very typical mother-daughter type relationship.
Yeah.
Angie was ready to be on her own, and she wanted to be left alone at this point in time in her life so that she could figure out this whole growing up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's trying to do things differently, forging her own path.
Exactly. And it sounds like at this time in our story that she's kind of like huffy-puffy about it, right? Like, I'm going to move out and go figure out my own stuff, and her mom kind of get in some sort of kind of argument or whatever, which was normal for them.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not your baby anymore.
Right. Like, let me figure this out. And from what I can tell, the mom's a little bit of a spitfire, you know, from like interviews and stuff. And it turns out that Angie was described as basically a near spitting image of her mother. She shared many like facial features with her, like not facial specifically, but, you know, features.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Like looking features?
Yes, she looked similar to her.
Thank you, yes.
She shared a lot of appearance likes.
Exactly. They both had like blonde hair, these piercing eyes, and both were explained to have had stubborn attitudes and a very straight-talking nature.
Okay.
Which, based on the interviews I hear from her mom, I could believe. You know?
Okay.
Like, she ain't taking no shit from nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like half my fucking family. Angie's friends said that Angie would never take any crap from anyone and that she was the smartest one out of the group because she was the only one to graduate high school.
Oh, wow.
On Wednesday, June 12th, 1996, Angie went to her mom Carol's home after not speaking to each other for 3 weeks.
Okay.
When
Did she call first?
I'm sure. I don't know. Like, it sounds like they hadn't talked for a while. I don't know. I'm guessing they were kind of in an argument. And then Angie shows up because she just needs a fucking hug from her mom. You know, those kind of, you're just like, life is hard.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. All that shit I said.
Exactly. And so obviously her mom opens the door and welcomes her in. And it was as if nothing had happened. They weren't in a fight or anything, like, come on in, come hang out. And it was a normal visit.
Okay. That's nice.
I know, right? It's fucking nice to have somebody to lean on when times are hard. Now, Angie was having a hard time because she had just recently broke up with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And like I said, she had just moved out on her own in her own apartment and everything. So she was, like, feeling overwhelmed by life.
Yeah. And she probably doesn't want to be in her apartment where she's alone.
Exactly. So she turned to her mom for advice. And she basically shows up and is just like, oh, my God, Mom, growing up is really hard. And her mom comforted her. And there was a time when the two embraced and, like, Angie just kind of set her head on her mom's shoulder and just kind of, like, they both rocked together kind of thing. Like, Aww. The comfort of a mom, you know? Mm-hmm. And they kind of snuggled and embraced. When Angie left her mom's house that evening, she told her mom, I love you, and she blew her mom a kiss from out the window as she backed out of the driveway.
Cute. Love it.
Car, right?
So all is well in their world.
Yep. She's leaving, and she's like, oh, that was sweet. My poor little daughter's having a hard time, but, she'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So cut to the afternoon on Thursday, June 13th, 1996, which would have been the next day from Angie visiting her mom, right?
Okay.
Now, Julia and Tawny are Angie's co-workers at the local beauty store in downtown Idaho Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Angie didn't show up for work, so they came knocking on her apartment door.
Both of them?
Yeah, they both came to check on her because she wasn't answering her phone calls and she didn't show up for work, which wasn't like her.
Yeah.
And I guess it was close enough to her apartment that they were like, we're just going to go sort this whole thing out, right?
Yeah. To be fair, I would want company. Like if I was how old were they?
18?
If I was an 18-something-year-old something at a job, and then they were like, oh, this person didn't show up, I'd be like, you got the store? I'm going to go with this other person.
Yeah, let me go check this out. Anyway, so they go knocking on her apartment door to go check on her.
Mm-hmm.
When they knock, Angie doesn't answer, and so the ladies let themselves in. The door was unlocked.
Uh-oh.
I know. I don't know if that's normal or not for the time, because, like, in my house it was very normal, but who knows?
Yeah.
But also, once I moved out, that shit was not normal. So when they open the door, they step in and they start calling for Angie, but they get no response.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies walk down the hallway towards her room, and this is where they find Angie laying on the floor with her head sort of propped up against the wall with a giant pool of blood beneath her, soaking the carpet.
Oh, God.
She's not doing well.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And she just broke up with her boyfriend?
She just broke up with her boyfriend, girl. Number one. Right. She was laying next to her mattress. And, like, I think it was on the floor. I'm not quite sure. Like, it had been, like, pulled off the bed or something, and there were bloody sheets all over them.
Oh, my God.
Not looking good.
No.
They obviously call the cops, and investigators arrive, and they determine that Angie had a deep cut across her throat and over a dozen puncture wounds to her body, and she had been raped.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, fucking atrocious.
This sounds horrible.
This is awful. When her killer had finished raping her, he had, like, pulled out and ejaculated on her.
Ew.
So the police were able to collect DNA evidence, though.
Okay.
It's in the 96s. Yeah, fucking disgusting. Also, she's dead. You could probably just go inside, but I'm glad you didn't. You know what I mean?
I mean, they probably could have gotten it from in there, too. But, like, also...
Yeah, that's true. Also, I don't know if she was raped pre or post-mortem. I didn't get that detail. But... regardless, they get DNA evidence, okay?
It is weird to pull it out, though. Like, how respectful.
Is it?
I don't know.
Because he just kind of, like, jizzed on top of her. So in my mind, I'm like, so disrespectful.
That is disrespectful. But also, it's disrespectful to go inside someone.
It's also disrespectful to kill and rape someone. So I guess
the most disrespectful thing is?
Yeah, I don't know why we're hung up on that, huh?
That's fair. Did he get it in her hair? What a fucking asshole.
What a dick. I don't really know. I think it was, like, on her abdomen or something. Anyway. But I didn't write that down, so I could be wrong.
Well, good. They got his DNA.
Exactly. They got his DNA, and also from her clothing and the entire crime scene, which was her apartment, they were able to collect a lot of forensic evidence. Like, this was kind of like your textbook crime where you're like, hell yeah, we're going to get this guy, you know?
Yeah.
The police concluded that Angie's time of death was somewhere between the hours of 12:45 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. that morning. So, like, after she had gone to her mom's house, whatever, came home that night at 12:45 that morning, whatever, all the way up to 11:15 a.m. So I'm guessing her friends came to check on her in the afternoon, like late afternoon, early evening or something.
Okay. Yeah.
After the shift, maybe. Because,
you would have been able to tell if the blood was, like, semi-warm or something. Yeah.
Right, if you got there right at, like, noon.
Yeah. Okay.
It clearly looked as though there had been a struggle, but there was no sign of forced entry into the home. As they observed the apartment, the police noticed that there were 2 bags of trash sitting in the kitchen area next to the stove, and one was out, like one bag of trash was also on the outside deck area, which was just outside of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
On the table, there was a full ashtray and some plastic cups laying around.
Gross.
So this suggests that Angie had probably hosted a small gathering that night. Like, it kind of looked like there was a little party and, like, somebody had started to clean up, but, like, didn't make it all the way down to the trash or anything like that. You know, like, when you're cleaning up after everybody leaves.
Yeah. I guess that would explain a full ashtray, too. Because, like, ew.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, not a lot of murders happen in this quiet little religious town, as you can imagine. So the police weren't exactly experts at this whole investigating stuff. And even though they had DNA samples, they really didn't have any leads to go off of based off of Angie's past.
Except for her ex-boyfriend. Definitely tested, hopefully.
I'm sure they do. So they just sort of started, like, interviewing friends and asking for DNA samples.
Okay.
Because, like, everybody was like, Angie was awesome. Like, nobody would want to harm her. Like, even her ex-boyfriend. Like, we don't know. So the police are like, all right, can we have your DNA?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, spit in this cup. So they're collecting DNA from all their friends. Now enter a man named Christopher Tapp.
Okay.
He was a 19-year-old Idaho Falls man who was known to hang out with a group of kids in the town that they referred to themselves as the River Rats.
Okay.
Heyo, I need a good gang name.
I know. Also, 19-year-old man hanging out with kids sounds bad, but also he's 19. So are these kids, like,
well, they're
17?
like 16 to, probably 16 to 20 or whatever. Like, imagine like a summer and you have a river that you could walk to.
Yeah.
There's going to be all kinds of people.
Yeah.
But there's this group of kids, I guess, 18,
Youths.
19. Yeah, youths that refer to themselves as the River Rats. And Christopher Tapp was part of that crew.
Okay. Chris T.
That's right. CT. If you can't tell by the name Idaho Falls, the town is centered around a river named Snake River, which is a major river that runs from Wyoming through southern Idaho and flows into the Columbia River that flows into Washington. So it's a big attraction, and it's got falls.
Okay.
It's got waterfalls.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Chris was always seen around the river with his friends, and they would always be joking and drinking and playing around, right? Like, imagine typical summer, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Stand by me shit, you know what I mean? Get some leeches on your dick. I don't know. Now, it turns out that Angie also was a regular down at the river. I'm not sure if she was part of the River Rat crew, but, you know, she was a regular down there.
Yeah.
So as the news of her murder started to spread through the town, all of the River Rats were gossiping about it.
Uh-oh.
As you would, right? Like, hey, fucking, did you hear Angie got murdered?
Yeah, that girl that sometimes comes around and you hit on one time. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like the highlight of the discussion for the summer.
I'll bet.
As you could imagine. Yeah.
Hot topic.
For Chris, though, he didn't know Angie that well, so it was more of like a, well, that's crazy, who would do that sort of gossip, and, like, his world wasn't shaken up from it or anything, which is, like, you know, kind of rude to say, but he also was just like, oh, wow, crazy.
Well, he's also a dude, so.
Yeah, true.
You know how dudes are like, I don't know why you're so nervous to walk to your car by yourself at night.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's because you don't have a vagina.
Imagine having $10,000 in your pocket.
A magical pocket that everybody wants inside of.
Everyone knows it's there.
Yeah. Everyone. You can't hide it. Now, the police find out that Angie frequented the river, so they go down and interview the river rats, and they collect DNA from everybody. Mm-hmm. And Christopher was one of those people.
Okay.
Of all the interviews and the DNA that they collected, none of them were a match. Okay. So their plan to we're just going to figure this out real quick with DNA wasn't working.
That's unfortunate.
Ah, God, how frustrating. And like I said, they're not really good at investigating. So as you can imagine, this is not going in a good direction.
Mm-hmm.
As time passed on and months went by, no leads and no information as to who did this to Angie popped up.
Months.
I
hate that.
And they had like a perfect crime scene in terms of forensic evidence.
Yeah, they have the jism right on top of them.
They got the DNA.
They got the Exhibit A,
yeah,
B, and C all right here.
Honestly.
Semen.
I see what you did there. A, B, and Semen. Now, Carol, Angie's mom, was getting fucking pissed. Rightfully so. She's like, somebody needs to avenge my daughter's death, and I need to know who the fuck I gotta kill.
Mm-hmm. Just like, it's gonna be me. So
it will be me, and I need a name. I'm taking ass, and I'm taking names.
Yeah.
She was very open about her discontent and basically was like, these detectives...
better watch their fucking ass.
Oh, yeah, she was like, they're not detectives. They're promoted street cops. Like, they've never had to do a day of detecting in their lives.
Got them.
Yeah, she was like, she was not shy about it, as you can imagine. Which, good, rightfully so. You know, put some pressure on their asses.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody's watching. Watch the world watch you not fucking suck. Please.
Yeah. Well, especially in the whole, like... this type of thing doesn't happen here. Like, all right, well, fucking, it's game
now,
day, bitch.
It's still part of your fucking job profile.
Yeah. Like,
So,
looks like you're going to have to figure it out. This is day one, son.
Mm-hmm.
You better get out there, start solving.
Exactly. And Carol was getting pissed and was very dissatisfied with what she was seeing. So she decided that she wasn't going to sit around and let them piss the case away. And so she took action.
Good for her.
She gathered up $5,000 in reward money and she started canvassing the area with flyers of her daughter asking for information leading to an arrest in her daughter's case. She's like, I'm just going to be the detective.
Yeah.
And
honorary detective. Haven't we said it before? I feel like moms that aren't suspects should get to become honorary detectives.
They should. Give me all access to all information. I'm on it.
Give me a fucking desk, seat at your desk. I'll just be right across from you.
I'll just stare at you. Did you get a clue yet?
Keep working.
Carol started to roam the streets late at night, and she was asking total strangers if they had any information about her daughter, and she basically became the detective, like we were saying. Mm-hmm. She was known to barge into the police station unannounced and demand an update on what they were doing for her daughter's case.
How is she supposed to announce herself? Call ahead? Just fucking walk in, man.
Yeah.
Like 24/7.
Well, and that's what she wanted, too. She's like, you don't need a heads up. Like, you need to be on your fucking toes. You never know when I'm going to be here.
Well, and also, okay, if I come in and you're working hard on something, good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, better be my daughter's case.
Yeah.
She did this so much that the officers jokingly renamed the back door of the station the, quote, Carol door, because she would come in all of the time.
She's coming in through the back door?
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck.
She's like, actually, this is my office.
Yeah, I clear a desk.
Yeah.
I got a key already. I had one made. She says she would burst into their office and demand information on what they were doing to solve her daughter's murder. And sometimes they would be in their office with, like, their feet propped up on the desk, just chilling, and they would, like, laugh at her.
Ooh,
like she was crazy for canvassing the neighborhood. They were making fun of her.
Bitch, that's her daughter.
I know. But, like, that she was doing what they should have been doing. You know? So, like, fucking, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck off. And ain't nobody messing with Carol.
Just to make fun of anyone who's doing something productive in finding, I don't know, solving a murder seems like that's not something you make fun of.
That's not a good look for the police department.
Right. Those are the people that you should be like, wow, look at you, go-getter.
Let me give you some evidence. Let me know if you find a lead.
Yeah, let me give you this reflective vest. I don't know, help out, bro.
You don't even have to embroider it if you don't want to.
Right.
Like, I'll wear the generic one.
Can I get the one that says SWAT?
Gets you access. It's like having one of those press badges. Gets you, like, unfiltered access to shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were kind of being assholes about it. And even the media started to pick up on the lack of progress on the case and started to criticize the police work. So now the police are under scrutiny, okay?
Good.
Because of Carol. She did not let this shit go.
Good.
This continued until January of 1997, which is 7 months after Angie was murdered. And in Nevada, one state over, a man by the name of Benjamin Hobbs was arrested for raping a woman at knife point.
Ew, hate that.
I hate it. So now this Benjamin Hobbs, he just so happened to be from Idaho Falls. And he was best friends with Christopher Tapp, one of the river rats, right?
Uh-oh.
And he also knew Angie. So now we have like an MO, like somebody who raped somebody at knife point.
Yeah, and he knew our victim.
Because of the similarities in the crimes and because the police believed that more than one person committed the crime, I guess it was such a scene that they were like, we suspect that 2 people did this. Like, there's no way that just one person.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So they honed in on both Benjamin and Chris because Chris didn't match the DNA, right? But, like, if there were 2 people there, he could have very well been there and helping Benjamin.
Yeah.
So they brought them both in for questioning. When Chris was being questioned, he knew nothing of Angie's murder, and he claimed to have been with a woman that night that she was killed. Like, I was busy boning somebody else. Now, Chris actually knew one of the investigators because I guess he used to, like, work at Chris's school or something as, like, a fucking yard duty. I don't know.
Okay.
But Chris trusted this guy because, one, he knew him from when he was a child at his fucking school, right? And then also, he's a police officer now, so, you know, he's not going to lead me astray.
Yeah. We trust them.
Right. That police officer continued to push and question Chris, but he continued to deny knowing anything about Angie's murder. He's like, hey, man, I really don't, I have nothing to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Over the course of 3 weeks, they interrogated Chris 9 times and forced him to take 7 lie detector tests.
Oh, my God.
And in total, he spent more than 100 hours being interrogated by the police.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh is right. And as you can imagine, 19-year-old Chris may not be the sharpest tool in the shed at this time because he's used to hanging out on the water fucking smoking cigarettes and drinking booze.
Yeah, he's a river rat. He's not a fucking detective.
Yeah, he's going to get him a nice job fucking doing a trade somewhere. You know? I don't know. Anyway. There's video footage of all the interrogations, and it's clear that Chris had been beaten down by the police in these interrogations. He was exhausted. He was barely able to speak at times. Like, legit torture tactics were used on Chris.
Oh, my God.
Like, held him captive. Like, he didn't know his rights. He didn't know he could leave. He didn't know all these things.
Yeah.
So, and he trusted the detective that was interviewing him because it was a quote-unquote friend.
Yeah.
But they basically were leading him on. They were answering the questions for him and shit. Like, putting words in his mouth. When he couldn't answer that, they'd be like, well, didn't you go over here? And he'd be like, yeah, man, whatever you need me to say. Like, what?
Like, I just want to get out of here.
And he kept failing the lie detector. Well, he kept passing them.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, they kept retaking it because they were like, you're not being truthful. You're not being truthful. And he doesn't know how to read a lie detector test. So he kept doing it because this is like his friend.
Yeah.
You trust him.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That's horrible.
Fucking terrible detective work.
We are currently already having talks with my kid about cops and
your rights.
Your rights.
Yeah.
And if they can lie and what you can and can't do and what
Chris
they
didn't
can and
know
can't do.
that they could lie.
No. Teach your fucking kids. And
Right.
if you don't know, you need to get up on that shit too.
Exactly.
The overreach of power is disgusting.
Uh-huh. And this detective the whole time is playing buddy-buddy with him. Like,
What a
hey,
fucking
man, I
asshole.
need to help you out too. Like, your subconscious remembers, but you just don't remember, but you for sure were there. Like, let me help you cut a deal. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Pretty nasty.
Ugh.
They had convinced him that the lie detector test was showing that he was being deceitful and that his subconscious mind knew he committed the murder and that he needed to tell them what he did that night. Like, this will be so much easier if you just admit it, because if we have to pull this out of you, you're going to get worse.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all lies.
Chris-
Hey, guys, it's legal for cops to lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, public service announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have the right to, you know, fucking not answer these questions and to a lawyer
Yeah.
and invoke your Fifth Amendment right.
Don't answer shit.
You ain't got shit on me, son.
Mm-mm.
Well, he denied everything. Chris denied everything up until they finally broke him, and then he admitted to the murder. But he changed his story so many times because he would say something and they'd be like, that's not what happened.
Try again.
Yeah, yeah. And they'd be like, didn't you use a knife? You know?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, yeah, I stabbed her. And they'd be like, where'd you stab her? And they'd be like, no, didn't you do it on her neck? You know, like
Oh,
fucking.
my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was bad. It was real bad.
This is what you get with pressure on the police to solve a case.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, well, to close a case. Not
Like
to solve it.
Chris, I know. Chris didn't even know the layout of that apartment. They were like asking him this, and then they'd be like, well, actually, the balcony's over here. So you walked in over here, and you came in from this way. And Chris would be like, yeah. Like, he didn't fucking know, man.
See, that's hard.
Oh,
know.
man.
I
So
don't think you could ever
infuriating.
get me to falsely confess to something.
I
say
would like
that
to.
now.
I was going to say 19-year-old me, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, you leave me in there long enough and you lie to me enough and I think that you're being truthful. I'm fucking naive sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
This girl now, no way. I'd be fucking crazy. I'd be like, I'm about to catch a charge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch a real one here.
Hey,
in a
if I'm
second.
not arrested right now, I'm
Yeah.
about to be.
Yeah, exactly. Get up and run. Whoa, fake you out.
Yeah.
Okay, so they had convinced him that he had full immunity and that if he would just admit to the police that he had done the murder,
He could
he
just
wouldn't
walk
get
out
in
of here.
trouble. Yeah. And so he was so broken and tired and he just wanted to be done with the nightmare. So he admitted to the crime and his DNA didn't match the scene or
Yeah.
anything, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
So clearly this man has nothing to do with this,
Yeah.
but the police, for whatever reason, just need a suspect to get... I don't know if it's because
Yeah,
they
but-
really believe it or if they want their name out of the media or what.
What happened to the friend that did rape? at someone at knife point or whatever. Like, interrogate that guy beyond belief, you know?
Well, here's where the friend comes in. The main theme of the confession was that Benjamin had committed the crime and forced him to participate in the stabbing of Angie. And if he refused, then Benjamin would kill Chris. Mm-hmm. So the whole thing that he confessed on was like, Benjamin did all the raping and everything. That's why my DNA doesn't match. But I did it out of fear. And so that's how he was going to get his immunity, right? Like, you're going to incriminate Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the police can lie and say that Benjamin's DNA matches and shit to Chris. But in fact, it didn't match. Benjamin's DNA didn't match. And Benjamin didn't admit to shit. So Benjamin was off the hook. He was already releasing everything. And they were lying to Chris, being like, Benjamin's admitting everything. Like, just admit it. You'll have immunity.
Oh,
and
my
so,
God.
100 hours of interrogation. And finally, Chris is like, yeah, sure. I guess I held her then.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And now he's over here falsely admitting to things when Benjamin knew his rights and is just gone now.
Yep, exactly.
That's the benefit of knowing your rights.
They had also convinced Chris to admit that a third friend had been present for the murder because the DNA didn't match, right? So they were like, oh, it's got to be one of your other friends. Who is it, And he said it was a man by the name of Jerry Sargis, which I guess is like a friend or some shit.
Okay.
Well, no surprise. The DNA came back not a match for that as well. But the cops didn't care at this point because Chris had confessed. They had a confession. And so their job was done, right?
Yeah, you don't even need to find the second person because you have this one person that was
who says he was there. Yeah. So Benjamin and Jeremy were off the hook, but Chris was arrested for the rape and murder of Angie because he confessed.
God.
This man had nothing to do with it.
Oh, my God.
Carol, who doesn't know that this is how they got the confession, is elated to finally have the police, catch her daughter's murderer. Of course, she, like I said, she has no idea that this is false.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks that there's two people there. So she thinks that
Chris has implicated Benjamin and that they have them both, or at least the other guy.
Well, she thinks that Chris was there and that he's just refusing to name the second person. So she's pissed at Chris. Name who the fuck killed my daughter.
Oh, my God.
You were there. You're the only one in this whole world that has the answer.
Yeah.
At the very least, you owe me that. But Chris can't answer it because he wasn't there.
Oh, my God.
But Carol doesn't know that. So
That's
Carol's
awful.
just fucking infuriated, right? When the trial rolls around in May of 1998, she's floored when Chris shows up to court and he maintains his innocence. She's like, fuck you. Fuck
you
little piece
admitted.
of
What do you
shit.
mean?
Yeah. He told the court how his confession was coerced and that his DNA proves that he didn't commit the murder. Obviously, his lawyers tried to get the confession thrown out, but the judge denied it and allowed the confession to be entered in as evidence, but not the 100 hours of interrogation. So people don't know how, they didn't review the footage. Nobody reviewed the footage of the interrogations. Not even Chris's fucking lawyer.
Oh, no.
Not even his motherfucking defense lawyer.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Later, I think there is a note that said, his lawyer was, hopped up on drugs and alcohol at the time or some shit, which I don't know if that's true or not. But that would kind of explain why a terrible job was done at his defense.
Oh, that sucks.
Now, the prosecution had a witness take the stand, a woman by the name of Destiny Osborne, and she admitted to hearing Chris talk about a killing at a party around the time that Angie was murdered. Mm-hmm. She later came out and said that the police pressured her into lying also. But she fucking took the stand in front of a jury and was like, he committed the crime. He admitted to it at a party. He admitted to it to the police. They paint this whole picture.
Could you fucking imagine?
I could.
don't know. I can't imagine it. I can't.
Two innocent people who are just pressured by the police, don't know their rights, painted this whole falsehood.
Yeah, I feel like even as a kid, though, if a cop were to come to me and be like, hey, admit this thing, I'd still be like, no.
I think they do it a little more sneaky than that, they hold you for a long time and they make you believe it and all that stuff, sort of like the Stockholm Syndrome kind of thing, they wouldn't lie to me, let me do the right thing, let me help them out. Also, when Chris was doing his lie detector tests, his little detective friend, literally when he finally was just like, yeah, I did it, whatever, his little detective friend, looked at him like, you did a good job, thumbs up, all right, and, high-fived him for giving the right answers and shit, and Chris was like, oh, good, I did good, was looking to please him,
Oh, I hate that.
So stupid. Now, the damage was already done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the jury took 13 hours to deliberate, and they returned a guilty verdict on the first-degree murder and rape and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony.
Oh, my God. Oh, against Chris. He's guilty.
Yeah, against Chris. Sorry, that was what the jury decided against Chris.
Oh, my God.
Chris was obviously sobbing in the courtroom because,
his whole life just got taken away from him.
Yeah. And I guess a few of the jurors were crying too after they saw his reaction and everything because they realized that they had made the wrong decision. Like, I don't know how, what, or why. Like
Probably
maybe
a gut feeling.
Yeah. Like, this is fishy. This is weird. And then after they saw his reaction, they were like, that's fucking, I think he might have been telling the truth.
Oh, my God.
Now, Carol, on the other hand, she was fucking pissed because she's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, you still don't have the trigger man, basically.
Yeah, she had been convinced by the police that there was a second man who killed her daughter and helped Chris, so she was very upset that he wouldn't just give up the name of her daughter's murder.
Yeah, but also, I guess, job not done to the cops, right?
Right. You still have a problem to solve.
Yeah, you still haven't found the person who murdered my daughter.
Exactly. It still really bothered Carol that the detectives never found the match to the DNA, and so she devoted her life to finding the second perpetrator, and she refused to let the police take their foot off the gas, because that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, Chris's lawyers filed appeal after appeal, but for years each time they were rejected. In 2009, which would have been 10 years after Angie's death, the DNA was entered into the National Crime Database, but no hits ever came up. Carol eventually got herself a laptop, and she used it to be, like, lead detective in her daughter's case, because before this, she was just, like, barging in on the police and then, like, walking the streets,
Let me use your computer.
Exactly. Yeah. How do I use this thing?
I got my own now.
Yeah, so I think she was, like, gifted a laptop or some shit. So she's like, anyway, Detective Carol.
Mm-hmm.
She found a company that was based in Florida that could identify a person's race based on their DNA, because, again, this is, like, in the early 2000s, right? And all this DNA shit's just coming out fancier and fancier each time. Mm-hmm. So there's some place that's like, hey, we can guess the person's race based on DNA. And she's like, fuck yeah, let's do that. That'll give us, like, a clue closer to who the fuck we should be looking for. And the police agreed to submit the DNA to this company, and it returned back results as the person being 85% Caucasian, which I guess helped narrow down some of the suspects.
Got a lot of not Caucasian people in
Idaho Falls? I don't really know. But anyway, I guess that helped some. So, hey, now we know 85% Caucasian.
All right.
Carol became obsessed with DNA and the rising technology around it, and she found one of the country's leading forensic DNA experts who started the, like, Idaho Innocence Project.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she got in contact with the expert, Dr. Greg Hampicane.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. Anyway, what's interesting is the doctor was already familiar with Angie's case because Chris had written in for the Innocence Project.
Oh, good.
And he was like, years before, he was like, somebody help me.
Yeah.
And
he's
they
like,
never...
my DNA is not on this bitch.
Yeah.
Not bitch. You know what I mean? Woman.
Yeah, for sure.
Was not found at this scene.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Bitch, respectfully.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Okay, so he was already familiar with the case, the doctor,
yeah.
and initially hadn't taken it on. But now with Carol coming in, asking, like, hey, can you check this DNA?
Yeah.
Like, can you help me? You're the lead DNA expert. What can we do? Now the doctor agreed.
Both sides of the case coming for you.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So this Dr. Hampicane, his team was the first team to actually review Chris's interrogation tapes. It
10 years later?
All this fucking time. And when they watched it, they realized what a terrible job the police had done in leading him on and everything.
Yeah.
And they knew immediately that Chris was innocent just based off of those tapes alone. They were
my
like,
God.
oh, no. Yeah, we'll take it on.
That sucks.
This was the first case in the Innocence Projects where the victim's family was working with the organization because historically it was only the convicted that came forward. So, like, this was, like, kind of groundbreaking for the organization to have, like, the victim work to not necessarily free Chris, because I don't think that was her intention. She was just like, yeah, I don't fucking care as long as you help.
Yeah, she just wanted to find the actual person who jismed on her daughter.
Exactly. It's not that she believed Chris was innocent. She just wanted the second person.
Yeah.
DNA technology had advanced a lot over the years, and the doctor and Carol pressured the police department to compare the DNA with the database of convicted felons to see if there was, like, a hit on the DNA, even, like, family members or something.
Yeah.
But this DNA database was like within the police department, right? It's not public knowledge or anything. And the police continually denied them access to it and said, like, we're not going to do that.
Uh-oh.
Fucked up, right?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's like a privacy thing or like something in the clause, like legally they're not allowed to, but
seems like a protection thing.
Either way, seems pretty stupid. Shouldn't protect those who are convicted, but okay, I digress. That's so cold. So since the police would not allow any type of access to the database, the doctor and Carol got creative and they came up with a more radical idea. What if they uploaded the DNA sample to the public site like Ancestry.com and see if they got any hits, right? On the public database. And surprisingly, the police were like, fuck yeah, we can do that. And they loaded the DNA into the public database. And they got a fucking hit.
I love it.
I know. They got a connection to someone who was a filmmaker in New Orleans who had visited Idaho Falls in 1996.
What?
And even made a short film about Angie's murder.
What?
So the police are like, the fuck?
That's suspicious.
Exactly. And they go and they collect the DNA of the person. I didn't catch his name, sorry. But unfortunately, it came back that they were not connected to the killer in this case. So somehow it just got a hit. I don't know if it was like they're like super far disconnected or whatever, but like it wasn't their killer. So this person
just happened to make a documentary about their like great uncle's
murder. Yeah, and they didn't know their great uncle or whatever, so God. They don't know. Okay, so super strange coincidence, but not their guy. And each time they're like, "Fuck yeah, we got a hit, we have a lead," and then they go out there and they interview the guy. I watched like a 48 Hours with the guy, and the guy was like, I legit, like, I'm not weird. I just knew the area. Girl, we have a true crime podcast.
Yeah,
like,
and I wouldn't say we're not weird.
Yeah, it's like if DNA came back on us for a family hit, for a murder in the family, and you're like, I swear I had nothing to do with it. I just am morbidly interested.
I'd be like, that's why my dad said not to do those. I get it now.
I'm suspicious, girl. My dad was super like that, too. I'm like, what'd you do, Dad? Why are we like this?
Who would have popped up by now, you know? Because my DNA's all over that place.
Oh, yeah. I never check it, though. Whenever it's like, you got a hit, I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I have like 1,000 new relatives a week.
I just wanted to know how much Neanderthal I am.
2%.
So, Carol was beyond frustrated, and it was around this time that a local reporter had been granted access to the information on the case, like the interrogation tapes and shit, through a Freedom of Information Act. Right? And so this reporter gets the tapes and sends them to Carol. Like, hey, I got access to this. I feel like you should have these. Carol held on to the tapes for years, but she never watched them. Because, again, she's not looking for Chris's innocence. She's looking for her daughter's second killer.
Yeah, but also I don't know that I would watch it if it was my own kid, because that's
terrifying
traumatic.
And sad. I don't want to hear what you did.
But I also kind of would be very interested.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I would do either.
I don't either.
100 hours is a lot of hours to watch.
I might watch the first, 10.
Yeah, and
episodes.
I guess the tapes weren't, they were pretty poor audio quality. There was no subtitles or anything, so you're listening to, you've seen the type. Yeah.
You're like, can someone speed this up and just give me the highlights?
Exactly. So eventually, years later, Carol ends up watching the tapes, and she's furious with the police because she sees it. I mean, it's even obvious to her that he didn't know shit. Chris didn't know anything. The police were spoon-feeding him everything.
Oh, my God. That's awful.
Yeah. They would ask Chris the question and then answer it for him. It wasn't even a good cover-up. It was bad. So immediately she knew Chris was innocent. And she consulted false confession experts and gave them the tapes, and they confirmed that Chris was, in fact, likely to be innocent, and that this was a classic case of coercion from the fucking police.
And this is 10 years later, so poor Chris has been in prison for 9 years. That's so fucked up.
Oh, it's super fucked up. Carol was so frustrated and confused. And one evening, Chris called her from prison. Now, I don't know why. She's the type, though, that would, call and be like, fuck you, she comes across that way. So maybe they already had kind of a sort
banter.
Of, or rapport, you know what I mean?
Communication back and forth, yeah.
Anyway, so Chris calls her one day from prison, and she answers the phone and just rips on him and is like, if you didn't fucking do it, you need to tell me right now, and you need to come clean right now. What the fuck happened? Either admit it or don't, but I need to know the truth. I'm done with this bullshit, whatever. And Chris was like, I really didn't do it. I was, fed from the police and everything. I was just a 19-year-old boy who didn't know what was going on, and I got taken advantage of. And so from that moment on, Carol believed Chris.
Oh, my God.
And started to fight for his innocence, as well as find her killer. So now she's back at fucking square one.
Oh, my God.
20 years later. This was 20 years later at this point.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Poor Chris.
That's fucked up. So it's like 2016, right? Now, the police, after all this gets out of the bag and Carol's like, what the fuck? The police review everything, and they admit that the tactics used back in 1996 in the interrogation weren't so great, but that they had changed their process 20 years later, so it's not a problem anymore. Like, don't look over here, right? But what the fuck?
Yeah, but they've all been promoted. They're now chief
100%. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. So, of course, Chris's attorneys file an appeal, which is a very lengthy process. The police knew that they were in hot waters, so they offer a deal to Chris where he could be released, but the conviction would stay on his record and he would have to be on parole for 10 years. So, like, oopsie.
Don't tell anybody, don't look over here, and we're not going to give you anything for those 20 years we took.
Yeah.
Other than your innocence now, which you should have had from the beginning.
Exactly. And we're not even going to give you your innocence. Like, you're still going to be on record as the murderer and the raper. But you'll just be free. Ugh. Chris thought about it really hard.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one to turn down.
But he turned it down because he was like, I want to prove my innocence. I want to clear my name. Like, that's not fair. That's not right.
Well, and after having spent 20 years in prison, what's another 5?
Dude, I'd be chomping at the motherfucking bit. I don't know what I would do.
I know, that's hard.
So they offer him a second deal. So good thing he held his bargain. He fucking bartered, right? Mm-hmm. Not even bartered. He should get what he deserves. But anyway, so they offer him a second deal. They would drop the rape charge on him, but hold the murder charge. And he'd be free after spending the 20 years in prison that he already spent. And if they ever found the real killer, then he would be exonerated.
No, because you're not going to look.
Fuck?
Like, you didn't look then. What makes me think you're going to look now?
What the fuck? Well, he took the deal. He was like, all right, sweet enough, Like, I'm going to work with Carol. We're going to just smooth this whole thing over.
I guess.
Yeah. But he just wanted to be free.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I fucking get. On March...
Oh my God, he deserves so much money.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on March 22nd, 2017, the guards pulled Chris from his cell and took him to court that day. And in court, Carol was there and very emotional, and Chris was set free. It was hard for Chris to adjust to the outside life, as you can imagine. 20 years had gone by. And all his friends and him, they were like 40, and his friends had mortgages and families and everything. But on the inside, he was still a 20-year-old.
Yeah, he just starting his life again.
Exactly. Plus, technology had changed so much, so everybody's got cell phones and computers in their pocket, and he...
Could you imagine time traveling through that?
No way. I mean, those 20 years were big ones.
Yeah.
From the 1996s to the 2016s.
Right. That's
17s.
fucking nuts.
Yeah, that is nuts.
A lot happened.
A lot happened, and this man was just, like, dumped out in the world again. Like, he had to move in with his mom and figure all that shit out,
And she's like, this is a cell phone.
Yeah. Right? Show me the girl. That's a Beauty and the Beast reference to the mirror.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so in the summer of 2017, there was a new police chief in Idaho Falls, and the investigation team was refreshed. Yay, all right?
Mm-hmm.
A cop who was a rookie in the Angie Dodge case was now the captain, and they were able to look at Angie's case with kind of a fresh perspective, right? Like, I was there when all this shit went down, and we're just going to solve this whole thing.
Yeah.
They worked with a DNA expert named Cece Moore, which I guess she's like a famous DNA expert, always on like the Forensic Files or some shit. Okay. Anyway, Cece had initially turned down Angie's case out of fear that the DNA was too degraded by now. But in the late 2018, she had agreed to take the case on. I think Carol had kind of like really encouraged her. You know what I mean?
Encouraged. Kind of like the police did with Chris.
Yeah, exactly. But I think
I'll fucking kill you.
I think Carol more or less got like sympathy points from everybody. Yeah. Like she was like gruff and everything, but grew on everybody because everybody was like, that's the mom I would want fighting for me. You know, like they understood. Even the police at this time are coming around. They're like, that was pretty fucked up. Sorry about that back there. Let's get this right. Like, let us do right by you.
Well, and the tenacity, all that. It's something admirable about her. Even if you might find her annoying because she's making you do your job.
Yeah, fucking, but just do it, and then I won't have to nag you.
Yeah.
God damn it. So Cece was able to use a database called...
Data. Oh, database.
Database. She was able to use a database.
Is it the one in Minnesota? Database.
Well, it's called GED Match. I don't know. But I guess it collects all DNA from public databases like Ancestry and shit, and it piles it all into one. Okay. And you can, like, build a family tree and everything from that. Mm-hmm. So that was the plan. Like, give me the DNA, and we're going to build this motherfucker's DNA profile, or family tree profile.
Yeah, I love that.
So she does that, and she gets a hit on the grandson or great-grandson of a man named Clarence Usury.
Okay.
She used obituaries and birth certificates to map out all of Clarence's descendants. Because it's like, once you get one hit, it's not like you have everybody. You just have the one name. So now you have to start digging. Like, who did he marry? Did he have any children? Like, what's all the branches of his tree so we can figure out who potentially will get us closer to this profile. So they do that, and she maps out all of his descendants who would have been the right age at the time of Angie's death in 1996. She was able to narrow it down to 6 men, and of those men, only one lived in Idaho. They trailed the man for a while. They tracked him down. They trailed him for a while so they could collect his DNA.
Oh, go get that paper cup.
Oh, they gonna get it.
Can.
Girl, they gonna get it. They collect trash. They get his DNA. They test it, but to everybody's disappointment, it wasn't a match.
Son of a bitch.
What the fuck? And so they eventually collect the DNA from the other 5 remaining men that Cece had found, and none of them were a match.
Oh, no.
This was the first time in Cece's career that she had never, like, had gone down, like, was led the wrong path.
Yeah.
And, like, this whole time she's working very closely with Carol, like, girl, we got him, we got him, we got him. And each time was a disappointment.
Oh, no.
So she was like, fuck, this is why I said no, god damn it. I held my boundaries.
I could have had a perfect record.
Yeah. So she was very bothered by this. Cece was very bothered by this. And her reputation was on the line, and she went back to Clarence's life to, like, look over again. Like, okay, let me start back at square one. How did I get led astray?
What happened here? Yeah.
And she discovered that there was an early marriage that Clarence had had in his life, but they had no documented children, right? So she just ended it there. Like, oh, nothing happened. But then she thought, like, what if there was an undocumented child? Like, what if she was pregnant or something when they left? So then she traced down that woman's obituary. She was able to find that this woman had moved to Missouri. Her obituary had to be found in, like, a small Missouri library. It wasn't even online. Like, she had to go to the fucking library, request the records, whatever, pull it up. And in the obituary, the lady had her surname listed. And after she had left Clarence, her surname became Drips. And in the obituary, it mentions a son and a grandson and their names. So now she has a new lead. Like, holy shit, this lady had a baby. It could have been Clarence's baby and was just raised as the step-parent's surname.
Yeah, okay.
And that's exactly what fucking happened. And they lost contact with the biological father, Clarence in this case. So that's how she got led astray. So they searched and they discovered that the son had lived in Idaho Falls in 1996, and his name was Brian Lay Drips Sr. Gross. The police searched the man's name, and they're stunned to find that they had interviewed Brian 5 days within Angie's murder, when they had canvassed the neighborhood asking for any leads on the investigation. Turns out that Brian had lived right across the street from Angie and was her fucking neighbor.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why didn't we get DNA from that neighbor?
Honestly.
In May of 2019.
What did he say? No, I didn't do it. And they were like, checks out.
Yeah, okay.
He said he didn't, and he's a man. So
we're going to believe him. In May of 2019, police began to hunt for Brian because they wanted to collect his DNA, right? Like, let's see if we got a match. He was now living 5 hours away in a town called Caldwell.
There you go.
In a town called Caldwell, Idaho. It only took the police an hour of watching him when he threw out a cigarette that he was smoking out of the car window. And they, like, all scrambled to the side of the road to try to find it, but it's, like, amongst a bunch of other trash, so they weren't able to find it.
You gotta get the hot one.
Yeah, I guess. Shit. Be closer and quicker next time.
Yeah.
So they don't get it, but they follow him for, like, another 24 hours, and then he flicks another cigarette butt out the window in the middle of an intersection, and the police, like, jump out and stop this intersection and go collect the DNA.
Could you imagine throwing something out of your window and then seeing a bunch of fucking cops scurry after it?
I know, right? Like, well, the fuck was that?
Better drive away. I'm gonna head out.
They send the cigarette to a lab, and the lab that they sent it to knew how important this sample was because everybody was very aware of this case at the time. And it was very important to everybody to solve this because Carol had been fucked, from the beginning. And so everyone at the lab stayed late, and they worked the weekend to extract the DNA.
Oh, wow.
The DNA came back as an exact match. They finally had Angie's killer. Fucking the next door neighbor across the street.
So she was cleaning up after her party. She put the trash bag out on the balcony where he saw her from across the street cleaning out the fucking party or whatever, and then was like, oh, everybody has already left. And
I'm going to go take care of something.
Wandered in. And the door is probably unlocked because she's taking her trash out.
Like, she's still, so they follow Brian into a bank, and when he comes out, they arrest him, and they take him in for questioning. At first, he denied everything. But when confronted with the DNA evidence, he was like, hey, can I have a cigarette? You're going to want to record this. Like, oh, you got me.
Oh, my God.
And he proceeded to confess to the rape and the murder of Angie Dodge. His trial was set for June of 2021, and he pleaded guilty, claiming that he had only intended to rape Angie and not kill her.
God, that's all, guys.
Yeah, geez. Come on.
I can't help it that things got out of hand.
Right. He confirmed that he was high on cocaine and drunk when he broke into Angie's apartment while she was sleeping.
I've been high on cocaine and drunk and never wanted to rape and murder anybody.
You're fucking I just want to clean. Not fucking rape and kill, but he was going to go in and rape her, and she ended up fighting back. And in the process, he nearly decapitated her.
Oh, my God.
He was found guilty of first-degree murder and rape, and he received life in prison for Angie Dodge's murder with the possibility of parole after 20 years, which I guess was part of his plea agreement. Okay. So, when he went in, they were like...
I mean... I could see that you have to get a parole period, but also that it will just never be granted.
Yeah, I think he'll be 80-something when that happens. I don't really know for sure. I didn't do the math. But
also, how does he feel about, if I was Chris, I would be at that guy's trial, first of all.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck you, man.
Fuck you too,
I want to look you in the eyes because you're the reason that I spent 20 years in prison.
Can you imagine? That's your whole life.
Yeah.
20 to 40.
And I would want to ask him, what did you think when I had to sacrifice my entire life for your
I'm sure he was like, fuck
shit.
Yeah, thank God they're not going to look for me.
I know, right? They don't actually care.
I know.
But I want them to care.
I know.
I wish it mattered,
I wish it did too. When police told Carol who her daughter's murderer was, she nearly came out of her chair because she knew the man and had begged the police to collect his DNA right after her daughter's murder.
Oh my God.
But the police told her to let them do their job.
Oh my God.
They were dicks.
Relax, lady.
You remember
we know
they
what
were
we're doing.
Dicks?
Oh.
Yeah. Fucking Carol's like, you can't do your job. Oh my God.
The way I would fucking run back to that police station just to be like, now what?
Can I have my plaque up on this wall?
Yeah. You owe me everything.
You owe me everything.
I was fucking right.
Well, it messed with her mentally because after her daughter's death, in those weeks after, she would drive over to her daughter's apartment and park outside and look through her window and just think about, what happened to her. And she was parked in front of Brian's house while that was happening. This man could be taking her trash out and shit. And that's the one who
she probably chatted with him.
Well, I'm sure. Canvassing the neighborhood and stuff. I don't fucking know.
That's so fucked up.
The whole time he was right there. So in July of 2019, Chris was exonerated after spending half his motherfucking life in prison for a murder that he didn't commit.
Oh my God.
Carol had become a second mom to Chris because she was pushing for his innocence and everything after she discovered the police's wrongdoings. And it was a meaningful moment for both of them to have him exonerated.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Chris sued the city of Idaho for wrongdoing, and he got $11.7 million settlement.
Preach, son, as he should.
Yeah. Carol created a fundraising project called Five for Hope to help raise money to solve cold cases. And that's the fucking end. So don't get murdered in Idaho Falls.
Yeah, or they need to make a fucking law where moms get honorable deputized. And they're
agree.
We're collecting DNA. And then she could be like, and that one. And they'd be like, obviously, because you're an honorable deputy.
Honestly, I know. Well, I watched something recently. Oh, it was Into the Fire, that documentary. And one of the detectives was like, we can't just go digging up people's backyards because a mom has a hunch.
Yes, we can.
I'm like, you should. we should listen to that hunch. Mm-hmm. There's something that we don't understand that's like coded in the DNA. Mm-hmm. Like, I can understand if they're always wrong, but listen sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And also, okay, sure, maybe you don't have to dig up a yard, you know, for example.
You could do some LiDAR.
You could do some fucking sonar or some shit. You could do other things that aren't maybe as intrusive.
You could spend a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's helping you out. It's helping your stats.
You're fucking welcome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working with you, or I'm trying to, if you would also work.
Oh, my God. If you get your feet off a goddamn desk.
I know.
So those early years at the Idaho Falls Police Department were a little rough. Sorry, Police Department, if you're killing it now. It just seemed a little shady.
Well, I hope you are killing it now. I hope your practices have changed. And
honestly,
I hope that all the people that were on that case are either now...
Well, the rookie is now the captain.
Well, the rookie's the captain, but you can't blame a rookie necessarily, right? So, like, I hope that the rookies made it, and they're making it a better place for everyone else.
For you and for me.
Yeah.
Heal the world.
Yeah.
Make it a better place.
One murder at a time. One fucking bad detective work at a time.
Pretty fucked up, huh?
It's very fucked up.
So it sounds like Angie had a party that night, went to bed, probably left her door unlocked, maybe based off of your theory here of throwing out trash or something, and Brian just walked right in and fucking raped her in the night, and she got caught while she was sleeping, and that's why the fight happened in her room. The mattress toppled over. He fucking killed her and then left her there.
That's so fucked up.
It's super fucked up.
And to think they might have spoken to each other or something, right?
I know, like hey,
being
Brian.
neighbors. Yeah. I hate that.
The amount of creepy neighbors I've had, too.
Girl, you have too many.
I know. I hate
Every
it.
house you have fucking weirdo neighbors.
I don't even talk to the people either. They come to my door. And I'm so rude to them. I'm not rude to anybody, but I will be rude to you, motherfucker. Like, if you give me the creeps, I'm like, yeah, I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah.
And they just don't, out there in their own world. Anyway, so if you guys want to check out pictures pertaining to our case, go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Our handle is @ISGD Podcast. If you want to email us, you can do that at isgdpodcast@gmail.com or snail mail us at...
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
By the way, we got a note that there is something at the post office.
Oh, I gotta go
there. It
there.
says something like your smart locker, whatever. It's done like 2 emails.
Oh, shit. I didn't even see it.
But I think it's only been like 2 days.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I will go there.
Watch,
tomorrow.
It's going to be like a fucking just junk mail.
I know, right?
But a smart locker for junk mail?
Shoo.
Shoo, girl.
Shoo.
Anyway, we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.